Hi everybody, this is Karen with Over the Artsy Moon. I'm doing a little painting today with a jar and some flowers. So I have a black background. I painted my canvas with black paint and I'm just going to sketch in a jar. So two horizontal or vertical lines. And then I've got this aqua color. This is called Dutch Aqua by FolkArt. And I'm just going to give it a little curved line on the bottom. So if you come in now or watch the replay, let me know where you're watching from. And I'm going to come up here and curve in a little bit on both ends. And I'm sort of trying to make this symmetrical. It doesn't always work that way. So curved and curved, and then I'm just going to wiggle up a little bit on both sides. And another curve up there, and this will be curved in here. So I'm going to get some water on my brush, take some white, and I'm just going to bring this in here a little bit. Okay. Bring this curve in here. This doesn't look great right now, but by the time we're done, it will look pretty nice. Well, I'm hoping anyway. So you've got this curve going on here at the bottom. And then we're going to keep on adding some of this blue on the edges, and we're just going to smush it in a little bit. I like to use my fingers sometimes. Anybody else here do some finger painting? And bring it in this way. And this edge here is a little crooked, so I'm just going to pull that straight down and bring that over. And then a little white on the bottom here, a little water, smush it in with my finger. Can kind of take this and go this way, some diagonal lines. Smush it in a little bit, and then we'll give it a little water line for later. That'll just be a guideline for later when we add our flowers. So just going to get a little water in there, blend it up a bit. The thing with glass is you want to have it definitely translucent, and we'll work on this as we know. I'm going to rinse off my fingers. All right, now I'm going to take this brush here. It's a round number 12. And I'm going to take some white on my brush and some red. And I'm going to make two kind of circles here. So I've got some lovely pink hydrangeas in my backyard. Anybody else grow hydrangeas? They are so pretty. This one's going to go overlapping here. I'm going to have one kind of back here, a little smaller, farther away. And then we're just going to fill this in. So I'm going to get some white, some red, and we're just getting this kind of loosely in there for one of our hydrangeas here, and then we can do the same thing over here. White, I got pink this time, but you could do white, red, and really, I don't know why I buy pink, because you can just make pink, but sometimes it's easier. You don't have to mix it up and you have the exact color that you like. So more white here. This one could be a little lighter in the background. My hydrangeas turn like a pinkish color. When I first got them, they were blue. So if anybody can explain the soil science, I know it's something to do with the soil, and I'm not sure why, what it has to do with it. Something about the level of something or other. So if you know, feel free to let me know. Anybody know what it is in the soil that causes the what do they call? Oh my gosh, causes these flowers to be, the hydrangeas, to turn either blue or pink? Let me know. Okay, so now I've got this brush, and I'm going to just take some white on it to start, especially for this one that's a little redder. So we're going to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm just pushing down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll just go around. You can take some pink on your brush. You can overlap a little bit. You definitely want to go off the edge too. So don't overthink it, just push them down. And that one I made a little mess there. I'm going to move this out of the way. And we're just going to fill this up. So where are you guys watching from today? Let me know. I just was up in Canada for a little time with my mom, so that was kind of nice to have that quality time. You never take it for granted, right? Get this one a little bit more. And actually they were having kind of they called it a heat wave, because I have friends from farther south, like in Tennessee area, and I took a screenshot of the weather channel, and it was saying it was a heat wave in Saskatchewan where I was visiting. And she's laughing out loud because that same temperature, I think it was 81, was a heat wave. In Tennessee, it was considered like a cool front coming in. So that gave me a little bit of a chuckle. All right, so you can intersperse the white and the pink, or I could even dip into the red. If it's looking a little too bright, grab some of that red color. I can come back over this if it's bright, bright, bright red, and just give it a little bit more. And don't leave the edges, like you don't want to just leave the edges without any like texture. So you want to come in then and maybe just here and there, oops, cats in the background, here and there, just give a little filling in wherever you think it might need it. So you don't have to do those 5 strokes together, but you can just do the little fill in here and there. Oops, a little bit over there. I'm not worried about that. A little motion. My hydrangea is moving around. All right, so white, red on my brush. I'll go over to this one and start doing the same thing. Maybe a little more red, just so we have some variety in the colors. You can overlap. If you see an area that's looking kind of flat, as soon as you add a little variation in color like that, you get a lot more interest in your art. And it's kind of pretty on a black background. What do you guys think? Do you like it on the black? If you like it on the black background, let me know. Or do you think it would be nicer just like on a blue background, or maybe against, on a dining room table or something? This is just a little more, I'm not sure. I think it shows up whatever you're painting a little bit more this way, perhaps. So you really focus on the actual creation. But I like all kinds of art. So all I'm doing is 5 little dots. Well, they're not even dots. I'm kind of pushing, 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 pushing. I think I have my flower right with hydrangeas. They usually have 5 little petals. Okay. And I see a spot up here that doesn't have any, so I'm just going to go in and put a couple little bits. And so you want to do that on the edges, but you don't want to make it look like it is too uniform, because nothing in nature is uniform. So it's always more interesting when you have some variation in the color, like the red and the pink and the white, all of those things that are in this piece. Okay, that one you could hardly see, so I'll put a little red there. Just fill it in wherever you think, and then you can overlap with some more of these. So I have a painting membership, and that is, I'm going to be opening that up to the general public again in August sometime. but I have kind of a little surprise for anybody who's missed it when I did my founding members launch. I'm actually going to do a little surprise launch coming up in the next little while. I won't say exactly when, because I just want to have it for anybody who's really interested in learning some of my painting techniques. And I have about 15 painting tutorials in my membership now. They're full-length tutorials, and I go through all the little details with you from start to finish. I give you a tracer if that's something that would help you, so you don't have to stress out about the drawing part. And then I go through all the details of how to do the painting. And some of them are a little on the easier side, some are a little bit more difficult, but none of them are out of your reach. If you can hold a paintbrush, you can paint. So it's all totally possible. And I know some people worry, they think they don't have this thing called artistic ability, but everybody does. Every single person has artistic ability, whether they know it or not. I was always telling my students, hey, you know what? You may think that you don't have talent, but I know if you practice enough, you will get there. It's just a matter of taking the time and definitely trying to practice every day or as many times as you can, and eventually you build that muscle memory in your hands and you learn how to do these different techniques that allow you to just build and build. Okay, so I'm going to add, I love to take my colors throughout the painting, so this might not make sense, but I'm just going to add a little bit here, very light strokes, and I can just add a little bit maybe on this side here. So I'm just going to very lightly pull that in there. Okay, so some people would not say to put your color in your glass, but I'm not always about realism. Sometimes it's more about the artistic license that you can use when you're doing your paintings. All right, so let's take our liner brush and we're going to be, actually let's stay with this one, and we're going to dip into the green, this dark green. This one is called Hunter Green, and we're going to just pull down and then down. Okay, and same thing over here. We'll pull this one down, down, and this one is coming right here. So these are our stems, and I know you can't really see those that well, and that's okay. It's just an illusion of what it should look like. I'm going to dip into this lighter one. This one's called Fresh Cut Grass, perfect for summer. And we're just going to dip in and go over those lines one more time. And don't worry about it being perfect. It's just to give that feeling of the stems hitting the bottom of the glass there in the jar. All right, and I'll add a little bit of that color here. And now let's go ahead and take this brush. This is a round number 12. I'm going to take both my darker green and my medium green on that brush, and I'm just going to kind of make a leaf. Okay, we're going to just make some loose leaves. These are not necessarily exactly like you would expect from, I think that's from my flowers that are in this arrangement, but it's just going to give us some greenery, and we'll add some other flowers. So we might even just smush in a little bit of green in here into those black areas, and we'll add some more green in a little bit. All right, so let's see, what should we do next? Maybe we'll just do a little bit of a background here, just so it's sitting on something. I'm going to just pull this across, and then we'll pull this down. So I can have that green kind of coming into the bottom there. I'm just going to pull that across. It's very simple. It's a very, very simple painting, and I think I will add some little dots just to make it more kind of a little bit of a looser type of arrangement. So let's do some yellow dots over here. And I think I will have this one coming up over here. So it's going to come up this way a little bit. And we're going to just keep on adding dots, and it's going to go up, like so it's something coming out of the water there, coming up a little bit. I'm going to have one coming up behind. I'm just going to keep on adding kind of in, it's almost like a triangle shape, a long skinny triangle. And you can keep on just adding these wherever you think it looks good. So I'm going to have one coming off here a little bit. One coming over here. I'll make this one a little bit, actually let's do one over here. So you see this is nothing super duper intense. You can just add a little bit with a few dots. It makes it look really kind of interesting, and we're still not done. Let's go into our that aqua color, and we can add a few more. I got a little bit of water on there, so I'm just using the back of my brush here to add some of these little dots. And this is helping me pull in that color from the glass to the rest of my painting. Maybe I'll have a sprig coming down right here. It's not showing up much because I got the jar the same color, so maybe I'll do white right there. Let's add some more leaves though first. So I'm going to take some white on my brush, and I'm going to make this one just a little bit more jagged. Okay, so looks like I've got some pink in there. So this one I'm just going to make a little bit more jagged. I'm going to put one here too, since it's kind of coming behind, and it's picking up the green off of the stem right there, but that's okay. It's going to be green anyway, so no worries. Let's add one kind of coming over here. The black kind of gets powerful, so you want to give it the green a little help sometimes and just set it up for success. And we'll get one over here. And maybe a little one here. Two, 4, 6, 8. Oh, so I need one more. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's looking a little off. Usually things in nature, somehow they look better when they're more of an odd number. Okay, so I don't know if that'll look better or not. We can just make a little reference here, like there's some other greenery there. Not sure I like these leaves. We'll see how it goes, if I can make this work. So I'm going to dip back into the dark green. I'm going to go to the bottom of my leaf and pull it over. Do that with all my leaves on the bottom side. Dip into that freshly cut grass. I love these flowers, they're so pretty. Okay, let's go a little crazy with our liner brush. Okay, so we're going to go into the white, and we're going to go and make some little curves. I'm going to loosen that up because it's a little bit too thick right now. Maybe this one is going to work better. Sometimes a longer bristle is going to work a little bit better because it has a little more spring in it, and we want to make sure that our paint is thin, and we're going to pull and twist. So let's try this again. Okay, yeah, that's a little better, but I'm trying to match that up. Ugh, that one's a little thick. Oh well. Let's see if we can make this work. Okay, so I'm just going to make these random little lines. Okay. We'll see. I'm not sure. I might regret this. And so I've got these little curves. Oh, this is going a little nutso. We'll see. I'm not sure I'm liking this or not. All right, and now I'm going to dip into the green and into that aqua color. And let's go ahead and I'm going to hold it way back here. We'll see if this is going to work. I'm just going to do a little, oh, nope, that's not going to work. So I have to hold it way up here and twist. All right, so holding it way up here, and we're going to twist. It's definitely giving it some interest, that's for sure. Not boring anymore, it's a little wackadoodle, right? Who likes wacky, crazy paintings? All right. And we'll do a little bit down here. And you know what? I probably should do a little bit in the middle, so it doesn't look like that is just randomly only on the outside. So we're going to add a little bit of that coming around. I don't know. We'll see if I like this in the end. I could have just left it, right? But no. All right, and then I'm going to take this same brush and I'm going to push down on these white ones a little bit and just do some tiny little leaves. So they're not even attached. That's kind of abstract, right? Okay, definitely this one. This one was so heavy-handed when I first did that one. So if that happens to you, just cover it up with something else and nobody will ever know there was a problem. All right, is it bugging anybody that some of these are not attached? So if that bothers you, you can go in and fix that. I'm going to take where did my liner brush? I think it fell on the floor. All right. Okay, oops, I'm so sorry. Okay, let's see, what do you think? A little bit more yellow. Let's add a little yellow vein on each of these leaves. So just dipping with the yellow, and we're going to try to unify it a little bit more even. And then let's add a few shadows. So I'm going to take my black. It's a little bit thick already. And a little bit of that white will make gray just to blend at the bottom. So we're going to pull that onto the bottom of these leaves, some of them at least. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the white and a little bit of that lighter green and just blend those on the top of each. And then I'm also going to make the ends a little pointier. Oops, grab the pink instead. So like I was saying earlier, if you are interested in being a part of the Artsy Moon Paint Club, I've got a waiting list on my website, and I can put that in the information later. So just look for that, or you can always message me if you have a question about it. And I just thought that would be kind of fun to do and just see if I can help anybody else get some joy out of painting the way I love it so much. Okay, so I think it's looking okay. Let's add some of this blue and white. I've got that mix in there, and I'm just going to get a little bit more in here. Okay, so I'm going to pull some over those stems, loosen it up a little bit, smush it with my finger, loosen it up, smush it with my finger, and I got a little green on there, so I'll do some of that with this watered down paint. Okay, and then I did have this water line here. I'm going to pull it up a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to take that black, fix up the edge here a little bit. So if you went out of the lines a little bit, it didn't seem straight to you, you can always do this afterward. Or if you didn't like something that you did, you can always fix that. Let's see, I think I need a leaf right in the middle, right? That would help it. Sometimes you see things and they look fine, and then you look back and you're like, well, we need some greenery in here. So I'm going to cover up a little bit of that, those other items that we have in there. And I'm not sure if that helped or hindered, but always try something. If you don't like it, you can always get rid of it, but I think it's okay. So, no, I don't like that. Not liking it. So what I'm going to do, sometimes, oh, there we go. Looking for my baby wipes. Grab a baby wipe here. And if you don't like it, you can just blot it off a little bit before it is totally dry. And I'll do a little repair in that area. Okay. So we're going to go back to this. I'm going to pick up the red and the white. We're just going to go back and add right over top. Might drive you crazy if you have to do that, but this was a spot where I didn't think it was going to come out because that green was kind of taken over. So sometimes you make a mistake and you like freak out because you're like, it's impossible to fix. But there's always different ways to fix things in painting, and I'm never about like it has to be perfect the first time. Who would ever keep doing anything if it had to be perfect the first time? It's never going to be perfect. It always has to be a process where you're learning and you're growing and you're figuring things out. See, there we go. Maybe a little bit more of the red in here. And I'm going to look for highlights. That one's pretty bright, so maybe if I put one over here, it'll balance it. Otherwise, I'll kind of take it down in a second. Do one right over here. Kind of looking better with a little bright, don't you think? If you like it better bright, let me know. If I add a little bit of white to this really bright cluster there, it might be a little better. I'll do a little bit right here. And I could just kind of fill this in a little bit, and then I don't have to worry about the leaves being missing from that spot. Okay. So I think one last thing I'll do is take a little bit of the pink, and just do some little heart shapes. Okay, it's a little weird, but you just make a little kind of a little heart shape like that. And I'm not sure what these are, but I'm just gonna do them, and we're gonna say they are a flower. If anybody knows what flower, maybe they're little butterflies, I don't know. Okay, a little heart shape wherever you think it needs it. You just go ahead and add it, and don't try to make it like a pattern or anything. You can put a couple together real close and then put one farther away. Take a little break, maybe one right here. Let's see. Okay, how about one right here? And then just some extra little white dots. I still have the pink on there. We'll make a cluster. These ones will be a little bit closer together. So I'm using the regular side, my brush, and I'm going to come over top. And a cluster here. So you could just keep on going with this, honestly. Who's going to stop you, right? Except when you have to go make dinner or something and you forgot to take a bathroom break, you forgot to pull the laundry out of the dryer. What else could we forget to do? I don't know. Okay, this one's coming down here. This one's going to come down here. So I still have that pink in my brush. If it's not showing up enough, you can go back and get more paint. And then we're going to have one right here. This is actually picking up the yellow because the yellow is still not dry. I love that. That looks really pretty. I think I need one over here. What do you think? Probably, right? Let's put one right about here. Ooh, picking up the green. So pretty. A little bit here. Okay, I'm going to give this a little shadow over on this side on the base. This brush is too tiny to do much. Let's do this one and a little black still too. Just come around the base. I went a little fast and kind of covered up stuff. I'm kind of just smushing it in there, and I'll take the lighter green on this side and kind of bring that over. See, here's the problem I always have. I always end up at way up high because I go crazy with my flowers. Next time, remind me, I'm going to start my vase way, or my jar way lower because this is really out of control. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of white over on this side. I've got my little tiny brush. Just a little white on this side. Pulling it in like this. Little curve. A little bit of the aqua color, and I'm going to curve. Want to make it look like the jar is rounded. A little water on your finger. Tap it in there, and then you can spread that out a little bit more. It's a little more translucent then. Okay. There you have it. So thank you for painting with me. I'm sure I could probably do a lot more things. Like I would love to just add a little more of the highlights just to these, some of these leaves. Just need a little something. If you paint this, please share it in or on over the artsy moon. That would be fun. You could also go over and just at the tops of all these little things that you painted in, you can add a little bit here and there. And it just brightens it up. All right, so I better stop bawling my head, right? Have a great day, and thank you for being here with me. And make sure you comment where you're watching from, what color your hydrangeas are. Are they pink? Are they blue? If you don't have any, which ones do you like the best? And let me know. I'd love to find out. All right, take care.